So one common problem that a lot of people come to us with is yo-yo dieting. And I think a lot of people don't realize how damaging yo-yo dieting is to your metabolism. But in this video, I'm going to show you the solution, but I'm also going to show you why it gets harder and harder to lose weight every single year, the more diets that you do, but also our unique solution to fix this, okay? So the first thing you need to understand is what is yo-yo dieting. It's when you lose weight and then you gain it back. Lose weight, gain it back. Lose weight, gain it back. Now, the reason why this is a lot more harmful over the long term than most people realize is not just because you become jaded to diets, you become frustrated, all that stuff. That can give you a lot of motivation to change if you'll have a lot of frustration. But it's more so how it affects your metabolism. And this explains why you gain the weight back faster than you even lost it and why it becomes harder to lose year after year. You see, when you lose weight, if you aren't perfect with your protein intake, your lifting, your sleep, your stress management, or if you go in too big of a calorie deficit to try to lose the weight really fast, especially on low carb and a lot of these other diets that are very catabolic, what happens is you lose muscle. And when you lose muscle, your metabolism slows down, which is why you gain the weight back so quickly because you're not burning as many calories per day, and why the more diets that you do, the harder it is to lose weight. And so it's a very vicious cycle. And I have a lot of people come to me, both men and women. Women get it a lot worse because women's metabolism is already slower as a baseline, and women are more scared of gaining muscle, and women are more scared of lifting, and women are more scared to lift properly because they think they're going to get bulky and masculine even though they don't have enough testosterone to get jacked. So women have this a lot worse, and I have women who come to me after doing this for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, who are just, their metabolism is absolutely shot. They're eating so little, yet barely losing weight, and they gain weight so easily because their metabolism is so damaged. They've lost so much muscle. They might be only a couple pounds heavier than they were when they were younger. Like maybe they're only up 10, 20 pounds, maybe 30 pounds, but they've lost so much muscle that their metabolism is super, super slow compared to what it was when they were either the same weight or barely, lighter than that. And so the unique solution that we use to solve this, because most trainers are just going to give you like some sweaty workout where you feel the burn and you're like, oh, this feels like it's working. I'm losing quick weight. I drop my carbs. I lose a bunch of water weight. So you think you're losing weight, only then you just gain it back super fast and you're burning through a lot of muscle that way. What we do uniquely with this is before we actually even go into a dedicated calorie deficit fat loss phase, we do a metabolic rebuild. Now, this can be referred to as a metabolism push phase. It can be referred to as metabolic priming. There's many different names that we can use to describe this, but this is actually a very powerful phase because you're going to get leaner and more toned right away when we enter this phase. You see, when you learn how to strength train properly, you learn how to hit your protein intake consistently, sustainably, and easily using a lot of recipes for the types of foods you usually like, whether you like sweet, savory, or both. We can make a lot of recipes for that are high protein, so you can gain back that lean toned muscle. Like I said, women don't get bulky, okay? But for men, you will get jacked. I mean, if you train properly and you have enough, testosterone, which for men, we can address testosterone levels, but for women, you'll get toned, you'll look really nice, and you'll get leaner as you go. Now, obviously, in the metabolism push phase, we're not going to really see the scale change a whole lot, but the quality of your body is going to get a lot better. Your body composition, your clothes are going to fit better. You're going to feel and look more toned. People are going to be like, did you lose weight? You'll be like, actually, the scale is not that different, maybe a couple pounds down of water weight, but I just look dramatically different, even more so than the weight I lost. And we haven't even started the weight loss phase yet. Then boom, once we actually get in a calorie deficit, once your metabolism is fast enough to get into an efficient deficit, it's going to be the easiest fat loss phase you had. You're going to feel like you're 23 again. You're going to feel like before you even had kids, and you're going to get your pre-baby body back. Now, again, the same thing applies to men. I know it was easy to lose weight in your 20s, but now it's hard in your 30s, 40s, 50s. Same thing. When we get your metabolism up and we're actually eating more of the right foods and less of the wrong foods, all your cravings are going to go away for both men and women. You're not going to have sweets cravings anymore because you're getting enough protein and complex carbs to stimulate your metabolism, hit your satiation hormones, and actually properly fuel your body and recover your body and build muscle. But on top of that, you're actually going to have a healthy metabolism, and you're not going to be chronically hungry, chronically depleted, chronically tired. All those are the things that happen when people chronically yo-yo diet. And so, again, we have a unique method for doing this. A lot of other coaches don't necessarily do this. A lot of coaches don't necessarily know how to do this. A lot of coaches just know how to make people move more and eat less, but that's just perpetuating the same problem. In reality, we need to look at your sleep, stress management, protein intake, complex carb intake, fat intake, right? And I know this sounds complex, but it's actually quite simple once you get the hang of it. And these things need to be modulated properly because everybody's metabolism responds differently. Some people, I can very aggressively push their metabolism up and fix it and speed it up very quickly, versus others, it's a little bit of a longer process. I would say 80 to 90% of people within, I'd say 4 to 8 weeks, on the lower end of 4 to 6 weeks, if you're maybe in your 30s or 40s, if you're in, your late 40s or your 50s or beyond, it might take 6 to 8 weeks. But Obviously, the older you are, the more patient you are, because it's less of a comparative fraction of your lifespan. But because young people tend to be the most impatient. Like people in their 20s never want to do this phase. They're like, let me just lose weight right away. And for them, they can kind of get away with it because their metabolism isn't damaged yet. They haven't had a lot of kids yet. They don't have a lot of responsibilities yet. You know, they're young, all that stuff. But when you get older, you need more patience. But alhamdulillah, usually you have patience. And if you haven't learned that lesson by this age, it's time to learn it. Islam teaches sabr. So this is what we're going to learn how to do. And I know it doesn't sound appealing. Most coaches say, oh, you can lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks. Just follow my special super secret program and supplements. No, this isn't any of that gimmicky BS, right? This is some proper, stuff that's actually going to fix your metabolism long term and help you lose weight and keep it off for the long term. And this is what makes it truly different. This is why when you look at our testimonials, people lose weight and keep it off for the long term. So at the end of the day, if you want to learn more about how we can do this uniquely for you, both on the men's side and the women's side, we have a dedicated technique review coach. We do a custom program for you. We do a custom meal plan for you. We look at your stress management, your sleep. We optimize sleep quality. We optimize your schedule. We optimize everything that needs to be optimized, and we give you the right recipes so that you're enjoying the process too. And we modify your diet depending on what pace your metabolism responds at and where your metabolism is starting at. And we can always assess this. So there's a lot of expertise. Again, beginner coaches don't really know how to do this. This is something that I had to learn more advanced. The first 5 years of me being a coach, I didn't realize or know how to do this. But over the last 5 years, that's where I really refined this approach, partially from my own journey, struggling with my metabolism, learning how to get it faster. But as I got older, but also, working with so many clients now who are older through the online program where I'm not face to face with them, but we're able to modify a lot of things. So anyways, if you'd like more details on that, just comment or DM with the word coaching. We'll send you more details. And if you want another in-depth video on 5 steps to speed up your metabolism so you can understand how to do this on your own, you can comment or DM with the word metabolism. But the thing is, that's the steps because I just want you to learn the information and hopefully be able to try it on your own. But the reality is, if you've been trying for a long time on your own thus far, there's a chance that you might not be patient enough to do this on your own. You won't have the expertise to do this on your own. So it's always better to have a coach, because at the end of the day, the real cost of it taking you longer to do this is not only that you take longer to get the results, but also that you might make some costly mistakes. Because if you do this the wrong way, you could gain a bunch of fat when you're trying to do the reverse diet portion of things or the metabolism push. When you do a metabolism push properly, patiently, with the right guidance and structure, this will help you to not gain fat. And if anything, like I said, get leaner and more toned as you're doing the metabolism push phase so that you're starting from a great place instead of having to get overly fat. And the first few times I tried to do a metabolism push phase, even I got a little fat. So again, you need to learn how to do this properly, which is why coaching is the best way to do it. So anyways, but if you still don't believe in my coaching, just comment or DM with the word metabolism. You'll get the free thing first. And if you're ready for the coaching, you don't want to waste time trying on your own, you know where to find me, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.